Friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining once again in this episode. On Life Signatures Radio, we are in a series where we've been talking about disillusionment, and we're going deeper into this. We set up a foundation for it, and starting yesterday we were discussing some of the ways in which we are disillusioned and some of the reasons as to why we get disillusioned in our purpose pursuit. Remember, we say that you can be disillusioned outside of purpose, and the solution to that disillusionment is to get into purpose. And then the problem is that when you get into purpose, it doesn't guarantee or it doesn't vaccinate you against being disillusioned with the same self-purpose. But then we are breaking down and seeing where exactly does this disillusionment come in and how we can be able to deal with it. Yesterday we started, and let us continue what we started yesterday. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
So one of the reasons as to why you could be in the spirit, or you could be in that mode of being disillusioned, is because probably you are not mature enough. Now, this is not an insult. Listen, every one of us in our purpose pursuits will go through immaturity. We start from absolute incompetence, and the only thing that we have to show is our passion. We are passionate about this thing, even if we feel it in our spirit, we feel it. But even if we are passionate about it, we don't have enough maturity, enough exposure, enough experience, enough, we've not used, so to speak, excuse the language, we've not used a lot of whatever it is we are passionate about, so much so that we are mature. And at some point in time, that might lead to disillusionment. When you get started, you are passionate. There is no question about it. You are passionate about your purpose pursuit. You're excited about it. And it's a very good place. It's needed. You've never seen someone who is not excited. Continuing. We need the passion. We need the excitement. You are inspired. You are encouraged. You are enthused. You look at the prospect of how in the world it's going to pan out. You are excited about the end result of your purpose pursuit. You can't wait to be on the New York Times bestseller list. You can't wait to be the one who is scooping the podcaster of the month or the podcaster of the year award. You can't wait to be the one who is making things happen. You can't wait to see the end result of your purpose pursuit. It's an excitement. You're passionate about it. You've started a men's show, for example, and you cannot wait to see men excited about this. You're opening a joint, so to speak, and you cannot wait to see men flocking in there, women flocking in there. You are so excited. You are so encouraged. You are so hopeful. However, a few weeks or a few months or even a few years down the road, you get disillusioned about it. One of the major reasons as to why this is so is that you have not matured well enough to continue deploying that purpose, even to start enjoying the fruits of your labor. There is going to be a continuum where there is You prepare, those things they normally say that I build it and then people will come. You've built it, but nobody gives a hoot. Nobody cares. The other day I attended a function where my wife was singing jazz. It's actually a new kind of a Christian jazz phenomenon. And I tell you, as I was listening to the guys singing their stuff, later on I told my wife, this thing is supposed to be in a big auditorium filled up. But at the moment that they were doing it, I tell you, there were very many empty seats in a small church congregation that doesn't even fit. I don't think it fits over 300 people. But the seats were empty. That can easily cause you to be disillusioned, and you can say, I'm not doing jazz anymore. Christian jazz, there's nothing. That, my friend, is a form of immaturity, where you are so hell-bent on looking at the fruits and you do not want the roots to continue growing, and you do not want to be patient enough to hold on to it until such a day or such a time that the fruits of your labor will start showing, and now the auditoriums will be filled over and over and over and over again. But there is a process. There is a process of growth. When you plant a mango tree, you cannot be discouraged and be disillusioned by the mango tree after 1 month because it's not giving you mangoes. That's not how it works. There is a maturity continuum. If you impregnate your wife, she's going to take 9 months. That is the gestation period of maturity. Maturity has its timing. There is a time that's supposed to... You see, we are living in the realm of time. All of us are living in the realm of time. And in the realm of time, there is need for maturity. There is need for growth. Now, when it comes to your purpose pursuit, the maturity is totally dependent on you, your passion, your consistency. You get to continue doing it over and over again, and very many other things like your branding and your positioning and all these things, they will need to be done. Sometimes you might go and you pay some dollars for advertising, Facebook, boosting and so on, and you boost and boost and boost and boost and boost, and you don't get nothing. It's because it is in the process. It takes time. There's a continuum for it. So one of the major reasons as to why we are getting disillusioned is because we are not patient enough to wait for the time of maturity. We are not mature with our passion. We are so greedy is not the word. Greedy is too strong. We are so impatient to start reaping the benefits of our purpose. At the onset of our purpose pursuits, perhaps you can never fault us for being passionate. What lacks will always be knowledge, experience, insight, growth, development. It takes time for maturity to happen. It takes time for growth to happen. It takes time for you to appear in stature. Jesus Christ was born, and we hear of him when he was born. The next time we hear of him, he's 12 years of age. And then nothing. Zero zooch. All the way up to the time he is 30 years. That's when we start hearing about him dispensing his purpose. Imagine him at 25 feeling low and disillusioned about his calling and about his purpose. Imagine him at even 29 feeling like this thing, there's nothing to this. It doesn't work. A feeling of disillusionment. You are feeling it not because you are feeling disillusionment because not enough time has passed for you to mature enough in stature so that you can start reaping the benefits of your purpose pursuit. Maybe roots are not there enough. The time can also depend on you. Like I said, how consistent are you? If you're doing it today and then the next time you're doing it is next month, that is not consistent. How consistent are you with what you are doing? What is the interval between your inspired actions? How long do you take in your consistency? The smaller the intervals, the faster you're going to get there. So you are feeling disillusionment because not enough time has passed for you to be mature enough to start reaping the benefits of your purpose pursuit. That's what I was talking about yesterday about maturity. There is such a thing as timing. And timing with maturity goes hand in hand. Timing with maturity, they go hand in hand. You might do everything, but the timing is just not right. The purpose is right, but the timing is not. When the timing is not right, it doesn't mean the purpose is wrong. So keep at it. Keep doing it. Keep pushing. Apart from time elapsing for the maturity of your purpose, you also need to be aware of the kairos. The Greek call it kairos time. Kairos time means the opportune time. Chronos time means general time, like today. Right now, it's chronos. But kairos, it is the opportune time. Let me tell you something about the opportune time. There's a company called Zoom that started its operation some years back. Nobody cared. Obscure. Nobody cared about Zoom. The only people who cared about Zoom were the people that they were marketing to, people who were dealing with conferencing, online conferences, corporations, and so on. And then Zoom was doing it for years on end and nothing was moving. Then something happened in 2019 called COVID. Coronavirus happened. The whole world shut down. And the only way people are going to communicate was through, guess what? Zoom. Zoom and coronavirus, that is what we call the opportune time. The question that I'm going to ask you today is this. Suppose Zoom was disillusioned in 2018 and shut down. You think it's a joke? There's a guy, I've forgotten the name of this organization, who started long ago in the 90s, towards the late 90s. They started a video streaming service. The problem is that the service was right, but the timing wasn't. At the time that they were starting that stuff, there was no broadband technology to help enough so that this thing can be ubiquitous, can be all over the place. So they closed shop. The following year, Google started, or not Google actually, Google acquired these people. Some guys started something called, guess what? YouTube. I can just stop there. What am I communicating, my friends? I am communicating about maturity and timing. I am saying your purpose is right. It could be your purpose is right, but the timing isn't. So don't give up because the timing isn't. Hang in there and mature as you're waiting for timing. At times, disillusionment causes people to give up just before the opportune time. The kairos time of maturity, they give up. I've talked about YouTube. So we have impatience. Impatience is something that you need to watch out. As long as it is your purpose, keep doing it. You're trying to get kids to be schooled in a different way and nobody cares. Keep doing it. You're trying to teach kids public speaking, nobody cares. Keep doing it. You're trying to do your startup and it's smack within your passion. You're not doing it because you want money. You're doing it because it matters to you. Nobody cares. It is just because the timing is not yet right. Invariably, when disillusionment sets in, we are easily prone to impatience. And you're going to give up on the path as you're going on if you're impatient. And you need to ask yourself several questions even as that is happening. Question number 1, have you grown in stature that you are so well able to handle all the tasks? In other words, if this thing blew up, the whole world wants it, whatever it is that you're doing, have you grown a muscle to support it? Question number 2, are you giving up because you don't have the capacity in terms of skills? Do you have the necessary skills? Have you recognized, number 3, have you recognized that you need to expand in capacity to mature? How much time can you give yourself to achieve this? Number 4, do you think that if you were mature enough, things would be different compared to how you are right now? It's a maturity problem right now. Chances are that your disillusionment is because you are not having capacity. You've not grown. You're not having the skills. You're not having the structures in place. Step by step. And probably you don't have the capacity to grow yourself. So it is a step-by-step process. So don't quit if you haven't grown. Focus on growing, increasing and upping your maturity. Chances are that if you sorted issues related to your maturity, this disillusionment that you are feeling will have to be dealt with one way or another. In fact, you not even feel disillusioned because you've dealt with some of it. The worst you can do is to quit on your path instead of working on yourself with patience. Work on yourself. If your disillusionment has nothing to do with your growth and your maturity, we're going to talk about something else that could be the reason as to why you're disillusioned in the next episode tomorrow. But for now, find out if it's a maturity issue and start working on yourself. Find out if it's a timing issue and remain patient. Find out if it's a skills issue and work on yourself and grow your capacity. Tomorrow we'll go deeper. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.